Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Anna. Hope your day is so well. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grant Ellis and Juliana Pasquarosa got engaged at the end of The Bachelor season 29, but they're already planning a second proposal. The path hasn't been easy for the couple from the start. While Grant, 31, was attracted to Juliana, 28, right away, their emotional connection wasn't immediate. It took time to develop, and it often felt like it would never happen. Due to past heartbreak, Juliana struggled to let her walls down, even after she and Grant fell in love with each other. In the end, Grant gave Juliana his final rose, and the couple got engaged. The Bachelor season 29 ended with Grant proposing to Juliana, but it wasn't a foregone conclusion. Grant seemed to waver on his decision up until the very last minute. Since their engagement, Grant and Juliana have had to deal with multiple controversies that have made it hard to enjoy their new relationship. Grant's runner-up, 31-year-old Latia Gar, accused him of telling her he was going to pick her. If that wasn't bad enough, there were rumors that Grant's sister wasn't supportive of his relationship. Grant and Juliana recently revealed that they're planning another proposal, and it's a bad sign. When The Bachelor season 29 premiered, Grant seemed like a very decisive person. It wasn't long before it became clear that his decisiveness was just an act. The act quickly started to unravel. Grant changed his mind wildly from one day to the next. As the season progressed, he often sent home his favorites while keeping women he barely seemed to notice. He didn't seem to know what he wanted or what he was looking for. The Bachelor season 29 opened with Grant giving his first impression rose and a solo date to Alex Good, 28. They seemed to connect deeply, but then he turned around and forgot about her for the rest of the season. 31-year-old contestant Dina Lupancu seemed to be a particular favorite until her hometown date didn't go perfectly. Unlike his other relationships, his relationship with Juliana was more of a slow burn. It progressed as organically as possible for an unscripted dating show relationship. Despite that, there may be trouble in paradise. Things seemed to be going well for the couple when Grant announced he'd be moving to Boston to be with Juliana. Before joining the cast of The Bachelorette season 21 and The Bachelor season 29, Grant lived in Houston, Texas. He realized her relationship with her close-knit family would make it difficult for her to leave New England. Though he decided not to sell his home in Houston, moving seemed to be a great sign. Since then, the two have rarely been spotted together, even though Grant has made multiple public appearances, and Grant and Juliana have dealt with drama since getting engaged 6 months ago on The Bachelor season 29. The couple recently appeared on The Bachelor Happy Hour podcast, where Juliana revealed that they won't be getting married unless Grant proposes again. To clarify that she doesn't need another ring, just another proposal. It seems like a bad sign that they're already talking about a second proposal, with the first one still so fresh. It's that time of year when networks are scrambling to lock in their 2025-26 slates, including ABC, which is home to some of reality television's biggest hits. The network has already announced that one of their most popular shows, Dancing with the Stars, will return, along with new seasons of American Idol and Celebrity Jeopardy. However, there is one franchise that is obviously missing. Both The Bachelor and The Bachelorette were absent from the list, which means the very future of the franchise hangs in the balance. Although the franchise has gone through its fair share of trials and tribulations, it's been a pop culture staple of the 21st century and can't be canceled. It's been a bit of a tough time since the finale of Jen's season. That horrible finale, the revelations that Devin was a big old creep who should have never been on the season at all, whatever was/is happening between Jen and Sasha from Dancing with the Stars, the goddamned election, the film Emilia Perez. As a people, we've been through a lot and we need a win. And while I don't think we're going to get another season like Joey's for a while, or maybe even ever again, we need a straightforward, regular Bachelor season. And I think Grant Ellis is the man to deliver us an acceptable and unremarkable season. Something about Grant just says, a sleeve of Ritz crackers lying on the couch while hungover. And honestly, I think I'm fine with that. 2025 is my 10th year recapping this preposterous franchise, and the show's attempts to keep topping itself by promising the most dramatic finale yet have gotten tiring. I'm old now. I'm ancient. I'm decrepit. I gave my injector a picture of Count Orlok as an inspiration image. I can't keep up with the drama. So a season where the major dramatic thrust is the slow and inevitable passing of time confuses Grant is a reprieve. A bachelor who can barely make a decision feels like comforting stability, nostalgic even. In this one situation, I will shun modernity and return to tradition. A hot goober who doesn't know what he wants. America is healing. Let's get into it. It seems like the vibe they're going for with Grant is 90s fine. You know, a guy who would appear on one episode of Living Single and be caught in a love triangle between Khadijah and Regine. He's giving love, and you'll never believe this, basketball. Because Grant was eliminated so early on Jen's season and unceremoniously announced at 2 a.m., his intro package has to do a lot of work to catch us up on the lore. Grant is from Houston. He's got a very cool sister, and he's ready to get married and have babies right now. Because we never got his hometown episode, we meet a lot of his family. His parents divorced after 30 years of marriage, and his dad is now sober after a long struggle with addiction. His dad sits down with him and tells him that Grant will be a better father than he was, and that Grant is special. Marcus went further on Jen's season than this guy. Ugh. Grant gives his first impression rose to his grandma, who seems only vaguely aware what he's talking about. Grant is very focused on finding a wife and having kids. Grant, these women are 28. They'd be child brides. Jesse meets Grant in front of the Bachelor mansion, and Grant does a few dances to get the nerves out. I'm going to be honest with you. If he keeps up this timid little dancing throughout the whole season, I'm going to have a hard time. Joey has the Mirrorball trophy. That's a dancer. Full choreo or get the fuck out the mansion. No time for a 5, 6, 7, 8 because the first limos are arriving. The first lady tested out of the limo is Rose, who hasn't prepared anything. She seems nice enough, and Grant seems to really like her. Next is Lytia, who is Mormon and was born in Hawaii and gives Grant a rhinestone basketball. She says in her intro package that religion is a guiding light for her. Get this girl on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Janae comes out of the limo and throws chalk in the air for a pregame ritual. My dumbass wrote in my notes, oh wow, she has fake snow. She's a basketball player, and Grant says as she walks away, I guess she's a LeBron fan. There's Parisa, who is on the show to find a cat daddy. Wait, no, a daddy for her cat. Wait, no, her pet. She owns a cat and would like to find him a father. There's Carolina from Puerto Rico, who is one of my early favorites. She asks Grant if he knows a little Spanish, then proceeds to tell him she's ready to get married and make fun of him for not understanding Spanish. All in Spanish. Grant's language skills are really tested in this episode. Fuck Duolingo. Muzzy needs to make an appearance on a future group date and lead a foreign language lesson. Allie Joe pulls up in a Jeep and gives him a pizza because New Jersey. Italian. Get ready, she's gonna be loud. Bada bing. Up next with an intro package is Dina from Chicago, who kind of looks like if that Chelsea girl from Love is Blind took the substance. She gives Grant her hands and says she's been told she has beautiful hands, so she'll need a size 6 ring. She also says in her intro package that people underestimate her as a lawyer because she's a girl and pretty. There's Radhika and then Alicia. Alicia has a genie's lamp and is quite frankly dressed like a street rat from Aladdin. She asks Grant to rub the lamp, and I swear to God, she says, make a wish. Our wish might be Grant. Girl, granted. Just say granted. We'll get the pun. After a few other entrances, there's a llama approaching. Grant looks down the driveway and asks, is that a donkey? I'm falling for this dummy. Leading Linda, the no-drama llama, is Alexi. She grew up on a farm, so she brought a llama. The real surprise is she brings the llama inside the house. Linda the llama just hangs out the entire cocktail party. Linda needs her beauty rest. Linda has a bold brow, so she obviously cares about her appearance. There's Juliana, who is Italian and from Boston. I look forward to her and Allie Joe having an Italian off, and I do not look forward to Grant possibly going to Boston. I hope her family is cool because based on what I know about Boston, this whole thing could go from hometowns to guess who's coming to dinner. Then there's Chloe, who is a plus size model, and I do not have enough air quotes in the world to describe this woman who most likely wears straight size clothes and is being presented to us as body diversity. I'll never be a size 0, says a woman who is no more than a size 12. We've broken the fat person ceiling on The Bachelorette. Just cast a fat woman on The Bachelor. For anyone freaking out, fat is a neutral term, and we don't need to do the whole she's not fat, she's beautiful in the comments, because 1, you can be fat and beautiful at the same time, and 2, I don't see a fat woman in that house yet. Bailey is a social media manager, which is the term The Bachelor uses when they want to make an influencer seem like they have a different job. She has him take pictures of her, and we've seen 100% of her gimmick. Speaking of gimmicks, entrance montage time. Serafina with a big Grant head for some reason. Kylie, who knows? Grant likes to dance the salsa, brings him a jar of salsa for some reason. Niecy is in a lab coat. Kelsey wears a Mrs. Ellis jersey. Savannah brings him a wedding cake. Then 2 of the absolute hottest women I've ever seen on this show give dynamite entrances. There's Vicky, who arrives with a Viva las Vicky sign because she's essentially a bottle girl and she's so hot. Next is someone possibly even hotter, Zoe, great googly moogly. This is the baddest bitch I've ever seen on this show. She arrives with a t-shirt cannon that she shoots over the house and basically attacks the women. This is a display of powerful dominance. A sexy woman basically holding a cannon, dropping images of her future sexual conquest on her rivals. Arthurian legends have been written about less. Pack it up, girlies. Zoe is the one to beat. And with that, it's time for the cocktail party. There's honestly so little drama, and the show has to work overtime to let us know exactly what Grant's deal is. One of my favorite completely delusional interactions is when Bailey says that she's got a bob, so she wants to take another selfie with Grant where he has a bob. She gives him a shake and go to pop on, and Bailey, baby, that ain't a bob. The bob, that's a pussycat wig. Grant isn't giving Silk Sonic or Andre 3000 in the Hey Ya video. He's giving Anita Baker. Parisa has made a PowerPoint and generative AI to show Grant what their wedding pictures would look like, and Grant says, "You really did that." Yikes, Ali Shah gets. The first kiss of the cocktail party, and a bunch of Lady Testaments are watching. I feel like this group of women are always lurking in the shadows, trying to see what's going on. Juliana sits down with Grant and plays piano terribly. I cannot overstate how 4th grade recital this woman's piano playing is. And Grant says, she's got really impressive skills. She's talented. Okay, so he thinks she's the hottest because she's not good. Carolina can't stop crying, I think because she realizes in real time that her parents will someday die. Suddenly, a mystery woman appears in a stretchy black dress. Who could this woman be? An ex-girlfriend? A former bachelorette? Who? When they played a little clip of the woman asking him, "Have you kissed anyone yet?" I knew it was his sister. And I'm a little surprised that the women didn't figure it out, because Grant and his sister Taylor have the exact same smile. These two are incredibly related. Again, we didn't get Grant in the top 4 on Jen's season, so we're going to do his hometown now, if you don't mind. Taylor shows off some baby pictures and tells some embarrassing stories. She used to dress him up as her baby doll. I can relate because I've been told that I called my younger brother my baby for the first year of his life because I didn't understand that he wasn't a Cabbage Patch doll. She sits down with groups of lady testants and lets them know he had a 7-year on-again, off-again relationship. I'm sorry, what? She frames it as when he loves someone, he loves hard, but that sounds like some fuckery to me. I definitely need more information. Taylor takes her leave, and Grant has the first impression rose to deal with. But there's a twist. Whoever gets the first impression rose will get the first one-on-one date. Sure. The Bachelor, you've been doing things the same way for all these years. Don't go introducing new rules and tricks at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if Allie Jo, Rebecca, and Ella get recruited as traitors and have to pass someone a poisoned golden chalice. But Alexei gets the first impression rose and a little makeout with Grant. Grant loves that she works with children and he knows she'd be a great mom. Okay, wow, Grant has some strong opinions about these women very early. It's time for the rose ceremony, and Parissa is regretting making Grant watch a PowerPoint slideshow. Lydia, Rose, Zoe, Ella, Allie Jo, Natalie, Juliana, Vicky, Carolina, Beverly, Bailey, Dina, Schroyer, Vicky, Paralina, Beverly, Bailey, Dina, Schroyer. Then finally, Parissa is humbled by being given the last rose. Kylie breaks down into tears and says her little girl self is proud of her adult self. This is a lot of tears for night one. Jesse leads Linda out of the mansion as Grant leads the lady testants in a toast. Do you remember the good old days when Corinne showed up at the cocktail party in a bikini and a trench coat? When Caitlin said she would want a hall pass after Chris Soule's time as the Bachelor if they ended up together? All the hot tubs. Literally anything Demi did to get attention. Maybe I've been in the game too long, or maybe I'm just in my old crone phase of life due to my stem cells being replaced by a 40-year-old's, but this is not the Bachelor of my youth. Where is the resilience? Where is the toughness? Where is the creativity? Where are the bad bitches? I'm sorry, we're on episode 2 and we're already melting down about the pressure and seeing the Bachelor kiss another woman. These women should be scheming and plotting and setting up a kissing-themed cornhole game. But instead, they're upset about Zoe's completely rizless attempt at pulling Grant aside during a group date. Did these women not know what show they were signing up for? Something is not right about the pace of this season. We should not be seeing, I can't handle seeing my future husband kiss someone else meltdowns until halfway through the season. Every cocktail party should be a whirlwind of everyone stealing Grant away. This is episode 2. We should be firmly within trying to get a catchphrase over territory and not your night one compliment really triggered me territory. Again, I hate to sound like a boomer, but suck it up, have some fun. I should not be this stressed when it comes to these girlies because they're not going to make it. At risk of sparking an intergenerational feud, what is going on with these young women? I want to wrap half of them in one of those tinfoil emergency blankets, and I usually don't have to do that until the first international trip and group date designed to make everyone expose their innermost trauma. And speaking of group dates, 66.66666% of the dates on this episode are fucked, the worst one-on-one date I've ever seen, and a completely ill-placed group date that should not have made this much chaos. Am I the only one who knows how this is supposed to go? Bachelor Cinematic Universe, remember who you are. Let's get into it. It's morning in Bachelor Mansion, and all the girls are already preparing to be jealous of each other. They've reached an uneasy alliance that's ready to topple at any moment. Rebecca establishes herself early as manifestation girl. You gotta have a gimmick. Jesse comes in to introduce the concept of dates and explain what will be going on this week. I guess this much instruction is needed because none of the Lady Tistons seem to know what's going on. There will be 2 group dates and Alexi will have an absolutely terrible one-on-one date because she got the first impression rose. The first date card is left on the table and Dina reads it. Beverly, Sarah Fione, Ali Jo, Natalie, Parisa, Vicky, Shloise, Zoe, Juliana. Alicia, it's time to shoot your shot. Love, Grant. My favorite reaction is Zoe going, I'm assuming it has to do with basketball. Elizabeth Tascioni is on the case, ladies and gentlemen. Ali Jo also says if it's basketball, she doesn't know how to play, but she does know how to fight. The group date is basketball. Grant grew up playing basketball, and his dad used to drop him off at the park for hours to play against older kids. I assume Grant was some sort of mythic figure in his hometown, a basketball assassin who arrived in the park to strike fear into the hearts of 8th graders. Grant uses his date to introduce that he wants to pass down basketball and the lessons he learned on the court to his kids. The coaches for the game are kids. There are lots of kids who are playing with the women. Grant wants to observe the women with kids. Whatever a wife guy for kids is, that's what Grant currently is, and he will ascend to his final form whenever he does actually have kids. And let's just get this out the way. I have no problem with someone wanting kids or having that as a goal. I just get weirded out when Grant doesn't seem to have much interest in any other aspect of the women's lives. Anything any Lady Tassian does gets connected back to how she would be with kids. Later in the episode, he does a good job of talking about emotional availability, but for the majority of the episode, we're not getting any conversations about past relationships or current jobs unless they have to do with kids. During the group date, the main drama is Zoe has decided that this is the moment she's going to lock in and shoot her shot. She steals Grant away during the dunk contest and leaves everyone standing around with nothing to do. Immediate reaction, mildly hilarious. Seeing them wait for an elevator while Ali Jo taps into her New Jersey rage is very good. But once she gets up to the roof, Zoe doesn't have a plan. Come on, girlfriend, kiss him, take off your top, slit your palms and form a blood oath, do something. She's got the right idea, but absolutely zero execution. They stand around awkwardly, and Grant asks her if she's having fun. Corinne would have tied upward of 7 cherry stems in her mouth by now. On their way back to the group, the other women realize there are no rules, but don't take advantage of the moment at all. It's time for the Bachelor basketball showdown, and the women have been sorted into teams seemingly based on height. The women are losing nails left and right. Zoe and Ali Jo are playing like they're on the 90s Detroit Pistons. In the end, the purple team absolutely dominates, and Choi wins MVP. The crowd chants, "Kiss, kiss," and they share a quick kiss before Choi gets Grant's Letterman jacket. It's time for the evening portion of the date. Grant takes Choi away right away, and let me make my prediction now. If she makes it to the top 6, Choi will be the next bachelorette, and they'll call it a win for body positivity or something. Meanwhile, the rest of the lady testants are trying to impress upon Zoe that what she did was wrong. Newsflash, it wasn't. In fact, it was probably encouraged by production. If they didn't give her the idea. It's being framed as disrespectful. I wouldn't call it disrespectful. I'd call it inelegant execution of a brilliant idea. If you're going to steal him away, at least get a kiss. They all say it was the wrong place, wrong time. Zoe asks, when is the right time? When we're at home without him? Thank you. Ali Jo says that Zoe didn't earn that time with Grant. For someone who says she's ready to fight, Ali Jo is doing a lot of complaining. Meanwhile, Natalie is off earning that group date rose. She took some time during the basketball date to help calm down a little girl who couldn't catch her breath, and Grant noticed. They talk about how their future kids would be tall and they would have to be athletes. I've never wanted someone's future child to play the oboe more. Later, Grant gives Juliana a hand massage because her nails snapped off. He's really into her. When the Bachelor is bringing you a gimmick on the group date, that's a good sign. While Grant and Juliana are smooching, the camera zooms out to reveal Zoe standing in the shadows, Nosferatu style. Zoe takes the time to tell him she's emotionally guarded. Grant says he's ready to kick those walls down. Allie Jo is sitting down with Grant, and Zoe hides behind a pillar and asks if she can say her goodnights. And worst sign of all, Grant goes with her. Sorry, Allie Jo, you're cooked. When the Lady Tustons are all back together, Allie Jo asks Zoe, what's your problem? You want your time? You had it, baby girl. You need that much attention? You're that insecure? In chess, they call that a Newark opening. Zoe has the only response. No one said you couldn't take him or say no. And that's how you play the game. Natalie gets the group date rose. It's time for the worst one-down date in memory. Alexei and Grant go to the mall at night. That's it. Everything is closed, everything is dark, and the only things open are a mattress store and one food stand. I hate this. What fell through? What happened to the budget? Does Grant hate Alexei? They each open up about their families and say that they want to run around like little kids in the mall. Okay, but in that dream, the mall is open and you can eat as much as you want and try on all the expensive clothes, or get to try flipping a shrimp into a chef's hat in an empty Benihana. This is just walking to your car when the movie gets out. This is midnight showing of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Core. When it's time for their romantic dance, Grant just puts a tape in a boombox. Alexei gets the rose, but I'd be worried about her long-term prospects. It's time for the final group date of the week, and this is way too early in the date running order. The performance or writing date should be episode 3 or later. Episode 2 group dates should be silly outfit or obstacle course based. Everyone feels way too exposed and vulnerable to write a few stupid lyrics in front of Mario and learn an 8 count from. Creator of the Pussycat Dolls, Robin Anton. But really, what's going on here? They're on a reality TV show and they're freaking out about putting on some metallic cargos and bustiers and doing a little step top. I have a few suggestions on how to improve this group date. Take some inspiration from RuPaul's Drag Race and turn them into a real girl group. Have a chorus ready, some choreo for the ladies waiting to do their verse, and teach them how to write a setup/punchline comedic verse. Someone needs to sing, "My name is," and "I'm here to make it clear," /"I know you love me, baby. That's why you brought me here." I'm choosing not to comment on Grant's rap. It's Black History Month, and I don't want to tear down one of my brothers like that. The two standout performances are Rebecca, who loves to perform and writes Mrs. Ellis on her back, and Carlona, who correctly pivots to sitting on Grant's lap and singing to him in Spanish. Carlona wins and gets to dance with Grant while Mario serenades them. By the end of the song, she has fully mounted him and they're making out. Our bitch moves that I am putting her in my final 4. But of course, this sets everyone off, rightly so, but the reaction is truly wild. When they head to the evening portion of the date, it seems like no one wants to either throw down the gauntlet or just confront Carolina. Instead, they all vaguely talk about the pressure and how hard this journey is after spending 2 nights in the mansion. Grant comes in for the evening portion of the date and notices immediately that the vibes are weird. He pulls Rebecca aside and asks her what's going on. Rebecca subtly shades him and says she's supportive of whatever he needs to do to get the outcome he's looking for. She's about to manifest everyone into a bad time. Dina tries to explain to Carolina that she made everyone feel bad by grinding up on Grant, and Carolina says she was trying to take advantage of the moment she had. Okay, here's one theory about what's going on. A lot of the girls on this date seem truly stunned that they would have to work to get Grant's attention and that he wouldn't be choosing them over and over all the time. It doesn't seem like they prepared themselves emotionally for any part of this, because seeing the lead with other women and not being chosen is the mental game you have to play. Kelsey from Joey season has joked over and over that she basically doesn't even process jealousy anymore because of how they met. And instead of stealing their spines or being vulnerable to Grant, most of the women focus on being passive-aggressive to Carolina. Then the other baffling interaction of the episode happens. Alicia has been holding it in that Grant said to her on night 1, "You're so beautiful, I bet no one has told you no." She is triggered by this, and of course, someone has told her no. Why does he think she's on the show? This is an example of cultural fluency because Grant doesn't literally mean that no one has ever told her no. He's giving her an old head compliment. The man is Kenneth Babyface Edmundskaiser. If he asks if you want to knock boots, he ain't talking about Tim's. If he's talking about his pony and his saddle is waiting, ain't no horse in sight, baby. If he says, all I want to do is zoom a zoom, 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 and a poom, poom, just shake your rump, Latia. She gets the group date rose. Sure. It's time for the cocktail party, and the main story is Bailey cannot stop weeping. Oh, and the theme is emotional availability. Listen, we've all been there when your face just starts leaking and there's nothing you can do about it. Bailey is holding court with her big feelings and trying to figure out how to talk to Grant without crying. She does not accomplish her goal. And this is another one I just can't puzzle out. It seems like she knows she's not doing well and just can't course correct, but is there more there? She says she compensates with being funny and having a good time. Can the funny please report to the front? Later, Zoe flips Grant to the ground. Hottest of hot bitch moves. We're wrapping up here for today, but the excitement of trending gossip doesn't stop here. We'll be back with new surprises very soon, so stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe.